everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Mono Black. I'm going to do something I don't typically do very often, and that is to play the same deck I played yesterday and upload them typically, not typically, but basically back to back, where we get to kind of evaluate how the deck did against one set of matchups and then against another. For example, yesterday there was a lot of red and a lot of aggro in the video. This one there's going to be a little bit different experience, that's for sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down a deck, and we're just going to get right into the game. So we're not going to do too much describing, but this card pile, we have 4 Duresses, 4 Deep Cavern Bats, and 2 Lilianas, along with a boatload of removal being 4 cutdowns, 2 Anoints for Heartfire Heroes, 2 Go for Throats for anything large, nowhere to run for ward creatures, and to get ward away from creatures so other removal is valid. And then can oftentimes also take out those Heartfire Heroes, allowing us to take no damage because it's the -3/-3, and it's power in 0 or less. And then 2 Shieldred's Edict to hopefully get around other things. If Kaido is relevant, you should be playing this. If Kaido is not that relevant in your games, you could recommend playing Momentum Breaker, as a commenter brought that up, that they've been playing this over Shieldred's Edict to kind of help with the same discard plan and run that over Edict. But outside of that, we have the Bloodletter and Unstoppable Slasher combo, where if Unstoppable Slasher hits our opponent with a Bloodletter on the battlefield, it instantly wins. But Bloodletter, or Unstoppable Slasher, is actually really valuable in another way, where like Mosswood Dread Knight is for Golgari. This is here to just get removed and basically take a removal spell from our opponent's hand, and then just constantly be a threat over and over again, and chipping in that big damage to allow our Unholy Annex to close the game out, along with the Archfiend and Bloodletter triggers with the Unholy Annex, or just Archfiend triggers in general with our boatload of removal. Outside of that, we only have 2 Sanctuaries. This is intentional because we don't want to have too many of them and have too much colorless mana when we have obviously a lot of pips that we want to be playing for. So outside of that, I hope you all enjoy the video. Let's go game. All right, so here we go. We'll keep. We have quite a bit of removal. Looks like it's going to be good here. Pass. Always want to see if they invest more spells into the Heartfire Hero, of course. There's an Emberheart Challenger. We'll take it out. We have both copies of our Soulstone. As you know, we all know variance in this game is a little bit to be desired. I'm going to play a Deep Cavern Bat here, look at their hand, see if there's not an important card to take. Scavengers ×3. Watch this plane drip off the top. You ready? No, okay. Interesting. I could only imagine. No. I mean, it's equally as good, right? Just Deep Cavern Bat, I guess. Might as well take something while I'm at it. Pop this. I'll attack for 1. Sure. You think that's to force Scavenger in their hand? Man, would that be funny. Alright. I guess drawing lands is where we're at.
My home.
I'm gonna minus here. I'm gonna attack with this Deep Cavern Bat because I'm willing to block with this one if they tap out to keep my Liliana, because all I've drawn is lands so far, really. Sure. My opponent can't. Brother, are we serious here?
You won't be.
Might as well get rid of a Scavenger. I'm almost convinced, by the way, that it is every copy, by the way. No. Like, this hurts. You know what I mean? This is tough. That's pretty funny. Sure. All right. Interesting. Take the trade here. My opponent concedes. Awesome. Wow, I don't think we can keep this. It's way too expensive on 2 lands. All right, 2 lands again. Sure, we'll do this. Kind of just have to at this point. Maybe I could have got rid of an annex, but press. 5 damage target creature or planeswalker. Draw a card and discard a card. Doesn't really matter to me. Kind of matters. Kind of doesn't matter because I can't really beat it anyway. I can't answer both, so I guess I'll just take that. I don't know. Realistically, you only ever need 1 vault online. Do we hit a land? We do. It'll help us out a lot. Alright. So, what's to come of this? I feel like it has to be like a reanimate style deck, but unsure. I almost want to just play the other annex, and I think that's my goal. I'll just lose 4 or drain them for 4 every turn. I don't really care. We're gonna lose some life. What are we saving the blue for? Alright, well. I mean, if that doesn't find me a land ever, I guess I'll never find a land, you know? One of those. You do take both vaults. Alright. Brother. This game's not real. They have a torch. They're going to torch this. I'm going to lose 4 more. I'm 13 cards deep looking for my 4th land. After a maul to 2, or a maul for 2 lands, mulligan. 2 lands, mulligan. We did fortunately hit 1. So, like, it'd be somewhat grateful, but at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. Like, well, if we just hit lands, we'd be much happier on a lot of these plays. And now I don't even want to play a demon. I wanted to rest my opponent. I don't even know if that matters. Going for this. Okay. This is an artifact deck? Or maybe an Ugin deck? Looks like an Ugin deck. Sure. Could have went for Bloodletter, but 4 toughness is pretty in their range. Cut down obviously not going to matter in this matchup, I don't think, at all. I think it's an Ugin deck, weirdly enough. But if we can get through this turn, I do have land, bat, duress. It seems like it's pretty good. That doesn't even hit. Full time. This could do it. What are we playing? My opponent is first. Removal, hand disruption, all good. Alright. Probably not near as good. These are probably dead. Oh, it's omniscient. What do we do? Probably fumble, lose, and cry. Oh, immediately puts 1 in the graveyard. Okay. That's not a good sign. Weird. Having double cut down is going to be good. I just take this and just hope they don't hit. Well, then they have 2 counter spells for my removal, huh? I guess they take a Abuelo here. And we hope they miss a land so they feel forced to barrel the moment. Oh, let's go. Don't find a blue one. Or untap. Like, oh. Ah. Alright, so clearly they grabbed the land. Let's force a Spell Pierce out. Well, they just let that resolve. I think that's kind of incorrect.
Drop it.
I think the idea behind it, right, is like, oh no, we'll discard Omniscience. That's fine. Then they hold up a Spell Pierce, but here we are. We're going to have 3 removal spells ready. We're going to keep barreling. They miss a land, so they invest a Riddle. All right. There goes 3 lands, so I guess the other one had to be a land. Well, they found their pocket, that's for sure. This is that same situation we had before, right? Where they use a Riddle, they have a Spell Pierce, they have a Regent. I can attack here, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't with 1 mana available, but Liliana's obviously plussing.
You won't be outsmarting me.
I can't go for the slasher right now. There's just no way. I'm gonna let slasher go. This is weird, but get rid of the spell pierce. I wish they would have told me that. Like they're obviously gonna tell me, you know. Sure. They pass or will they hard cast this? Well, they're going to combat, so now they can't flash this in. So I'm entirely down for this. I thought they were just gonna play this as a 6/6 and just get value that way. Really happy they did not. We will not attack with this bat this turn. Anoint is the obvious card to go, and the reason we want to attack with the bat is because if they use the bounce spell, they get Nebuelo back, and it only costs 1 mana if it's targeting attacking creature. Sure. No way, it's a riddle too. That's a regent. Okay, fair enough. All right. Cool. Let's arrest him first. Interesting. So we get rid of invasion. And I feel like Lily plussing here is just the right move to try to keep my Lily around a turn. Because the problem is they'll just keep the 3 land, and then if they rip Abuelo off the top, they're just good, right? They have this other regent. That's also the 4th or 3rd or 4th time we've seen this regent now. If they barrel the regent, I just get to alt Lily anyway, but then I keep the Liliana, right? So it's a wash, kind of. Yeah, and I think they realized that. So we're gonna take. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put. How would I actually do that? Sure, dude. I had a great time. Would I mean, I would do 3 and 3. Actually, would I do both white sources and the Dragon Storm on one side and just leave the 4 islands? Well, I have Abuelo under my control, and there's 2 in the graveyard. Lily's gonna stay. I don't know. It's weird. That's a lot of mana. I feel like they could have survived this Lily ult, but who knows? This Omniscience again? World may never know. Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but it's just got to be Abuelo, right? Could be this invasion. Could have been this, I guess, to stop them from discarding. But they're gonna draw and discard. Like, that's not something we're gonna be able to stop the whole game. Unfortunately, I kind of got nothing going on. Yeah, and there's a good card. I mean, I have to, like, just play a slasher. They got rid of the dispersal. Or I just play Lily and do that and just hope they don't have anything. I'm for it, I guess. I've done this in the past. It's a bit risky, obviously, but I'm going to leave this Sanctuary. Because if this is Omniscience in the graveyard and then the Awakening, then it is what it is. You get rid of Invasion, so that's kind of the thought process I've had in this matchup, or kind of, not thought process, but experience I've had, is like, you can't be afraid to play the Lily, because the Lily ultimate is so good. And here, most likely going to end up finding probably Counterspell in the card. It depends what version they're on. We'll play this, we'll get rid of our land here. If Omniscience isn't put in the graveyard, I'll play the Slasher. But if Omniscience is put in the graveyard, I will put in something else. Or I won't put in anything and hold up these go for the throat. So no Omniscience. We play Slasher. Slasher can technically win the game pretty quickly. For example, if my opponent taps out here, we run into that situation of getting to potentially draw an Archfiend, play it, and win by one-shotting them. But, or not Archfiend, Axlezots. Man, I did that last video, and I'm doing it here again. But what will my opponent do? Okay. My opponent be unfortunate enough to let me draw the Bloodletter. An Omniscience is now in the graveyard. A lot of cards in their hand. I feel like attacking, forcing them to bounce my Slasher. Yeah, I think that's what this pause is. Then we go for Deep Cavern Bat, give them a look. That's fine. They already have an Omniscience in here, so I'm not worried about it too much. Less cards in the hand is like kind of more information, even though we will Deep Cavern Bat our opponent. I'll probably discard the Slasher to this Liliana. Alright, there's a Regent, there's a Stock Up, there's a Moment of Truth. So, I personally here kind of want to take the Regent, just because they can just hard cast it next turn. Although, I've had a lot of people not do that, which I've kind of been on the fence of whether I think that's the correct move or not.
We all have things we'd rather.
This is on 6 too. I'll get rid of this. There's always a chance our opponent top decks Abuelo. Get rid of Blast Zone. Okay. Now that the Regent's in our hand, they're kind of like, oh, whatever. This is what we were hoping for. Man, Omniscience is weird. I feel like anytime I play against Omniscience and I have these weird Liliana games where I win with Liliana, I immediately run into it again. A tap out situation from our opponent. Am I in the same spot now that I'll have 2 go for the throats? Cut down. No, because that won't even do it. Card I draw, I either want to be a good card or a dead card. It's really weird. Honestly, a hand disruption would be best. Nowhere to run's not good. Ugh. Well, I'm risking it. Didn't play a land, so they didn't hit one. The same situation as last game. I could ult a Lily, but then they're left with 3 lands. They could be holding one to kind of do something sneaky like that, where they just pick the 3 land pile and then go that route with it. So obviously a little part of me is kind of playing around that. Yeah. If nothing comes of this turn, we'll bring up the Sanctuary. Moment of Truth, sure. So now we're not worried about this card being able to be played and then pick up our Liliana and Deep Cavern Bat. We would lose the game if that happened, because then we'd have nothing going on, and then we'd probably have to shoot the 6/7. So fortunately enough here, it seems like our plan's fine. They didn't have an Abuelo. They have to grab an Abuelo here, which puts 2 cards in their hand, which would have to be used as a counter spell. Nothing going on. We already talked about this play. Here.
See your life before your very eyes. Good.
So we give them good mana, and we take everything else. They have to take really awkward mana. It's up to them. Because it'd be 2 planes and an island plus these, or your good mana sources. And I'll leave that up to you. Then so much has to go right from there, right? Without the Dragon Storms, it's way more likely that they fizzle. And that's how they keep, so that's fine with me. Let me read. I haven't played a land this turn, so I guess it doesn't matter. Deep Cavern Bat here. Spell Pierce, Lockdown, Regent. Lockdown kind of sucks. The Spell Pierce. Well, they can't do everything, right? So I have to just take the Lockdown. The Spell Pierce kind of doesn't matter. I take Lockdown so they don't get 2 cards back. Because what? They draw land. They can't draw land and the Abuelo in the same turn, right? So Riddle gets shot. Most likely looking for land here. We got them halfway through their deck, and we actually take the game once again. Man, I'm telling you, you just have to not be scared to play your Liliana in this matchup, because when it stays like a lot of times you're going to roll the dice on whether you lose that exact turn, right? But the problems that Liliana poses in these games, I think is very evident. And if you're able to play it on turn 3, at least from my experience so far, the next 7 games I play Liliana, I might insta lose, who knows? But from my experience so far, playing a Lily on 3, when we get the opportunity to, has worked out incredibly well in our favor over everything else. So, that said, I mean, let's move on to the next one. Sure, I guess my entire hand's castable outside of 1 card, so it's kind of hard to turn that away. Especially if these cards are good. Alright. So, it's weird, because I'm actually going to take the Storm Chaser's talent, because I can just get rid of the Corey Steelcutter this turn. And next turn. We're going to get rid of it permanently. We're going to duress them. Alright, cool. And we don't want to Deep Cavern Bat it, because they can always just Burst Lightning our Deep Cavern Bat, and then we're struggling for the rest of the game. But it looks like we're going to take... Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. Why even try to make decisions? Deep Cavern Bat, I guess. You know, I would take one of these 1-mana spells, but I know as soon as I do, they'll just draw a land anyway. Sometimes you're destined to lose literally no matter what decision you make. At least, like on the spells, they're going to look to double spell every turn because that allows them to keep their Corey Steel up. Now it's just like... It's whatever. Burst Lightning my Deep Cavern Bat, please. Yeah, dude. Sometimes you're just destined to lose. Literally nothing we can do. All right. Well, I have a duress to take the card that they'll draw off the top, so that makes me pretty happy. Holy Omniscience Pile. Take the only card that I can. Here. One, I guess. We just gotta not give that value. Then we're gonna play Lily and go for it. We're gonna run away. Lily. They're obviously gonna be fist pumping because it's like, oh, I get to put my Omniscience in my graveyard for free. We're looking to ult Liliana. We're not gonna attack. We're not gonna give this card any value. There's 3. We find stock up, so land, counterspell, land, Abuelo. A lot of things can be picked up here. Plus,
You won't be outsmarted.
you need to find something other than a land to hopefully double spell. Omniscience 2 gone, which is actually a good sign for us because that means they can't Omniscience, bring it back, and then play another one. Which I think is something, if you're playing these decks and there's a Liliana in play, you have to play around that. I'm just surprised that they're like, no, we'll just throw it away. It's a free discard. And it's like, well, what if you just like didn't, you know? Have to keep the land because we have to discard something other than our Go for the Throat.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Lily's at 6. What to discard, opponent? Imp Lockdown. The card's gone now, and it's only an attacking creature. There's no mana held up, so that card's dead, so I will attack for 1. Doesn't really do me much good to do anything else. Sure. So it seems like they don't have the card. All right, well, there's 2 now. Hmm. Man, this hurts. This is hard. If I put them to 2 lands, they just have so much value that they can just get it back. I think I'm sticking with the plan I've had every other game, and I'm just plussing. Try to ult Lily, try to keep it, and just hope when we do this go for the throat, they don't have a counter spell. About all we got. Because an ulted Lily means even if they put the invasion in play and grab the Abuela back, doesn't necessarily do much.
Don't overthink things.
Also, just drawing just every land in a row kind of sucks. Like, I'd be way more comfortable to ult Lily if I had double removal, but we'll see. But now if it's a Spell Pierce, it'd be a Riddle. Sure. Spell Pierce we beat, Riddle we do not. Feels like a bad card to respond to. I mean, I'm barreling it regardless. If this hits an Omniscience, right? This hits the Omniscience, puts it in hand, then they cast an Omniscience, and there's literally nothing I can do. I'll never get priority back. All Spell Pierce. No, it's Dispersal here, so they can play this again next turn. 2 lands gone. Go for the throat, resolves. Let's hope this doesn't get a counter. They have a card that they can grab. Hopefully they do. Sweet. If this got a counter, I'd actually have to fear that Liliana would die. Alright, well. Here.
One way or another, this fight's over for you.
Those are your choices. I guess I could have put Archaeologist with the 2 white lands, but you either keep your white mana or your 3 islands. It's up to you. Sure. Here. Chart of Course. Archaeologist, nothing we can do. We could interact with Chart of Course, but I don't think it's necessarily that good. Invasion's also, I guess, dead here too. So I guess I take Chart of Course. We actually, it's weird to say, we actually weirdly, they can attack with this and then cast Chart of Course just to draw 2, and they don't even have to discard. Dispersal on a temp lockdown. Sure. Liliana's back on the dream. Attack, pick it back up. Sweet. Never mind. Our Deep Cavern Bat is just a trooper of troopers. Unholy Annex off the top, please. Like, that's what we need bad. So now they need a white source. They leave on top. They have a white source. Okay. Well. The GG's here.
Drop it.
The Abuelo on the top, or is it not? I mean, there's a good chance it is. Oh, man, that's tough. I'm not waiting to watch him do this. Have Unholy Annex and stuff, you know, good cards. My opponent has 2 of them. That's tough. I mean, we are on the play, so we get to resolve ours first, which is huge. Or resolve both of ours first, who knows. If Nightmare Pixie comes in, I'm just letting the Edict go. Looks like our opponent's little prioritizing not playing the Pixie out, so I'll play an Annex. Take an extra draw. Sure, now they put pressure on. That totally makes sense. Oh, I drew lands pretty frequently in a row last game, so let's see if we follow that trend here, I guess. I say player annex. I don't know why we wouldn't here. Nowhere to run, so I missed the land. Seems bright. Nice here.
Happy to help. I've always hated crowds.
Land? No? Alright, sick. It's just the back and forth between whether I hit lands or not is just so annoying in these games. Sure, dude. I don't know.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
I almost just want to hold the edict to remove whatever creature they cast here. Can I find a land, please? Oh, thank you. Going here. Probably was a little too ambitious to discard this, but it is what it is. Flashing's not going to do me any good now. I think we have to save this to make demons. I think that's where I'm at. Sure. Cut down. At least I found a card that I can just discard because it doesn't really do me any good. I guess I can cut down the pixie, I suppose. Oh, okay. Just a handful removal. Guess it literally doesn't matter, I suppose.
Don't
I guess.
things.
Guess it has to be. No, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose both of these. It doesn't really matter. Sure. Yeah. They ripped a Kieran. They ripped a Kieran. Sure. That Pixie's sorcery speed, so. After the Pixie comes in, we just get rid of Lily. Pick up his Hopeless Nightmare, and we enjoy this game very much. Alright. This hurts, dude. Hurts so much.
Off you go.
I had to do this to gain a little life so I could stop just losing it, and I'm gonna lose it to momentum, which sucks. But man, what a fifth land wouldn't do me. Are they momentuming or are they going to do the chamber? It's actually an interesting spot. Go for the throw. Okay. Breacher, sure. Man, does this game hate me or what? Plus.
I'm tired of your secrets.
This is a tough game to watch, man. I am 20 cards deep almost looking for a fourth land. Am I mono red? Like, what's the deal, dude? I didn't even realize I was that deep in my deck. Holy cow, you do exist. Best case scenario is they do this. Then we go for the third it. Best case scenario, and it's not close. Aaron. Sucks so bad. Sure. I mean, I have to keep the land, right? I have to make the 6/6. Here. Do I minus? I mean, I feel like I have to, right? Plussing makes no sense here. I lose my Lily, but it just matters too much.
Oh, one of your friends has to leave.
Okay. I'm surprised they didn't draw another land. Like, there's definitely a pocket of land right here. And this is basically our chance to win. That's all. This is all we got. Or we randomly draw. Thankfully, we randomly draw this the other way. And we win with a second annex trigger, which is crazy to say. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know why. But Arena just refused to give me lands. All right, everyone. Here we are. We are kind of talking about the mono black deck in the outro a little bit. We're not going to do as much as we did. I kind of just ran it back. I was kind of wanted to, it's more of an experiment to see if that's like kind of cool. We didn't really change anything. Maybe I should have changed something, but the list performed really well yesterday. So we decided to go ahead and give it another shot. Unfortunately, we ran a little cold today. I feel like the last couple of games overall was kind of describing our experience on today. And it feels like that happens quite a bit. I mean, it does, just because it's variance. It's just how variance works. Your opponents will draw nothing but dead cards. Sometimes you're going to do that. It just sucks when they happen back to back, or when it's like very clear that you just need a card to win the game, or like, and that could be a lot of things. For example, like by card, I could be referring to this many cards in my deck, and instead I draw the 7th land in a row or something like absurd. And that's always annoying, right? Whenever that type of stuff happens. But I will say one of the big positives today is winning our bad matchup more often than we probably should have. I did have to concede 2 games just because as soon as I played them, something happened and I just like conceded and had to go run and do something, which sucks. Kind of the thing, you know, it just happens sometimes. That's why a lot of times some of my records are kind of like down and up, because like I sit down and I go, oh, well, I got this phone call. I have to go take it and do stuff. But with that all said and done, we did well. I think the deck's still really good. Obviously, I'm still pretty happy with this build. Someone in the comments recommended or said that they were playing the Monument instead. Oh, yeah. No, it's Momentum. Not Monument. Momentum Break. They said they were playing this, if you're curious at all of maybe a change that you might do, but I'm not going to say the name just in case, you know, they're going to remain a little anonymous, but they'll most likely be in the comments. You can find it on the last video. But Momentum Breaker, they played this over Shieldred's Edict because they thought the discard was a bit more valuable, and I could definitely see that with 4 Duresses and 2 Lilianas, and Momentum Break kind of essentially doing the same thing. If you're not running into Kaido too much, you definitely want to probably lock in these instead because they do provide a little bit of value, and then obviously you can crack them. The other thing is too, if you run into kind of those temporary lockdown decks that want to play it and bounce it and pick it up, this is a bit better in that because that gives you more removal on your end, which is kind of interesting. You have to think about it that way, but also the life gain could matter in some matchups, especially like that last one where not sure if I think I casted an Edict, but where we were kind of sitting there going, oh, it's whatever. But I do think today is a good example of why to maybe play Edict, because having that instant speed removal was pretty crucial with how many Omniscience piles I went against, which is ideally like our bad matchup. But again, we beat it more than we lost to it today, so that is what it is. I mean, we have 2 Lilianas and we played it like on 3 in all those games. So, I mean, take that as you will. But with that all said and done, I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.